We are going to have them night, folks.
Time to kick his show off.
There we go. We're gonna sit here for a few and let some folks jump on here. That's the fun part about live. You just got to sit here and say, "Hey, where's the people at?" Wait a minute, we done got 11 jumped on here pretty quick.
Man, that was quick. They must have your notifications turned on.
Oh, we already got 15 jumping on here. Mike Tetrick. Mike done said sharing and waiting. I like it, Mike. We appreciate you. Appreciate you every week. Bobby Gilmore. Bobby, you're always promoting the good old message of contacting 811 before you dig. They're retraining me to say contacting all the time, not calling. They want you to call, but you can call, you can click, you can do any of the above. You can get on whatever. I think some of them might even have apps that you can get on nowadays. But Austin Wakefield jumping on here, Lori Tant. Lori says, "Hi, Trent. Look, you done got fans on here already, Trent."
That's from Florida. My dad's down there with them.
Oh, is that okay?
That's my dad's stepsister.
I got you. So, yeah, and that's right. Your dad's down in Florida.
My dad's down in Florida with Grandpa fishing on Lake Istapoga.
So, did you catch any fish today?
They caught a few. It's been a little tough.
Well, probably might be getting a little chilly down there.
It's still real warm.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they just had a front move in yesterday, and it cooled down a little bit. He's going to try to go bass fishing tomorrow.
Well, look at this. We got folks after folks jumping on here tonight. Well, folks, welcome. It is After the Bite, and we're having a little change up this week. So, over the last, Bobby Gilmore commented about my bobber sitting here. Bobby, I'm going to tell you a little story about this. I just showed Trenton this a second ago, and I'm going to come back to where I was getting ready to start about talking about American McClure jumping on here. But I was talking to Trenton about this cup right here back at Christmas time here. I had one of my daughter's friends that wrote me a little message here. It says, "To Mr. Stowe." And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I thought this was great. This youth sent me this. He drew me a little picture. It says the direction on here and wrote me a little note just talking about, grabbing me this little gift right here, and all he wanted for Christmas was a bunch of fishing stuff, and to
go fishing with you.
And that's right. And then Jaden wanted to go, and what he wanted to do is go fishing with me. So Jaden, we're gonna make this happen. I had your cousin out last night. His cousin Braden actually went with me to the woods.
Oh, is that who you took hunting last night?
Got his first 2 deer. He didn't actually kill his first one, but he got to harvest. Excuse me, we don't like the word killing. We like the word harvest. And he got to, harvest 2 deer last night.
That's awesome.
So, but Jaden got me this little cup, and Jaden, I appreciate it. And it's a cool little mug right here. It says "Gone Fishing." I got it full of unsweet tea right there. And so, Jaden, thanks for that. But, folks, this is After the Bite. I've got Trenton Estridge joining me. And this young man, I like saying I probably changed his diapers because it's true. But this one here, I've grown up, him and Christopher weren't even born when me and his daddy started fishing together. So I fished with his dad over 20 years. And actually, me and your dad just went this week and filmed a show right here on our home lake, Taylorsville Lake, a crappie episode, folks. That's going to be coming up later in the season. It was a fun one. Here it is, the month of December. And we went out there crappie fishing, and we had a great day.
Hey, it's always fun catching crappie shallow in December. And when I'm talking shallow, I mean a foot deep.
Yep, literally like that. But anyway, so Trenton's been around for a long time. He's actually working with me on the landscaping side, and he's traveling with us, filming. He's actually been doing some YouTube videos with me. There's a couple of them already out on the YouTube channel that we've done together, frog fishing and There was another one. Can't remember what it was.
I can't either.
Hang on. But anyway, later this week, David Tant says hi to you as well. You know, nobody's saying hi to me, Trent.
They don't
but
like
sure.
you. I'm just going to take the show.
But anyway, so Trent's been traveling with us. He's going to film with us. Me and you going to do a show later here this month at some point, either in Florida. We haven't nailed it down.
No,
as always.
we just fly
it.
by the seat of our pants.
But Trenton's going to be joining us more often. He's going to join us on the lives here. We're going to talk a little fishing. We're going to talk about where we've been, who we've been with, and all those great things that we do on After the Bite. But Trenton's going to bring a little youth to the show. He's going to bring, he's a great fisherman. Once again, I've watched him grow up. I watch him fish with his daddy. My favorite thing to do is torment him, though. I can tell a real good story, and I told it on the episode. But one of my favorite things is this kid. So last year, me and his daddy went to fish a fundraiser tournament for the high school. Well, you know, me and Brian decided if we won it, we was going to give the money to charity, and luckily enough, just it all fell into place, and me and his daddy won and gave the school back a little chunk of money to give to the bass fishing team. But the best part of the story was when we hooked number one, fish one, Brian and my only goal of the day at 48 years old was to go out and beat these kids. That was me and his daddy's only goal, by the way, so that you know. That's all me and your dad cared about, as long as y'all didn't beat us. But we were out there, and first thing we do, and I haven't fished many tournaments in a long time, but I look at his dad, and his dad says, "We got to send Trenton a picture. We'll get in their head." And I said, "That's a great idea." So we hooked this fish, we take a picture of it, we text it to them, we post it on our Instagram knowing Trenton's going to see it.
It wasn't only just a keeper, it was one over 4 pounds.
Well, no, we started with a keeper. In the next cast after we take this picture out, we catch another 4-pounder like this.
And y'all broke the net.
Well, we started the day off with a broken net, but the fun of that is that, you know, we had a lot of fun just tormenting you, but Trenton's going to join us, and of course he'll have a hard time getting word in edgewise with me around. But so Trenton normally on After the Bite. When we get on here, it's 8 o'clock. We're on here live, and we're going to talk about the episode that where we were and who we were with. And this week we were with a great guy, Andrew Norby. I got to spend time with Andrew down at Gunnersville.
Exceptional person. Exceptional.
Yeah. Tremendous fisherman as well.
Absolutely.
And, you know, you watch his YouTube channel and you see all of that. But I think you said a little while ago, he's got what?
He's got 38,500 subscribers on YouTube.
And, but Andrew is a delight of a person. It was a fun episode, Lake Gunnersville, in the middle of the summer, in the heat. We actually shot the show. Then we ended up shooting a YouTube video that'll come out later in the week. And, but Andrew was a lot of fun, and Lake Gunnersville was a lot of fun. So, but you know the one thing you always got to do on these things? You got to pay the bills. And After the Bite is brought to you by Jinko Fishing. So see, you got to make sure you pay the bills. Folks, we got a new little treat tonight by Jinko Fishing here. So, of course, I'm always promoting the message of calling and contacting 811, but we have the new Jinko Cam. So last week, you know, Christopher had this fancy new graphic called the Tackle Tip of the Week, but he's added a new phase to it. We now have the Jinko Cam, and watch this, people. I can pull this little camera over, and then I can take the baits we're going to talk about this week, and this is the bait we're going to be talking about. Look at this. Woo!
He's
Up
like a
close
kid on
and
Christmas
personal.
morning.
I'm like a little kid when Christopher adds some new things to our to our show. But we're going to have the new Jinko Cam. I'm not supposed to. Christopher's not happy. He told me, Dad, this goes out to the side. So, but anyway, I'm going to be able to show you underneath this little camera. This is the new Jinko Cam. Come on, pop that graphic up one more time. Watch it. See it in the corner? It's the Jinko Tackle Cam. But anyway, After the Bite is brought to you by Jinko Fishing. I always want to say thanks to them boys. You met Will Roby and Colton Jennings, all that group down there, Tony Shepard, just great friends, and they're right here from Kentucky, and I love telling that every week. But you know, guys, I want to thank you all for supporting us the way you do here at the Direction, and of course, all the other folks. We got tons of them. Mike Tedrick said, now we're high-tech redneck. Absolutely, right
Yeah, you
there.
should see the TV.
The TV is great, no doubt. Remember, folks, y'all seen this last week? We got a duct taped up TV right here, but don't know why the corner is duct taped, but I told all about it last week. So, but anyway, After the Bite is a lot of fun. It's, you know, talking about where we've been and what we did. And Andrew Norby, just to kind of, he was going to come on with us tonight. Andrew was kind of a little under the weather today, so we're going to hope Andrew gets feeling better. We're going to bring him on at a little later date and time. Maybe when the show reruns, we'll bring him on, but we'll get Andrew on here one night because, folks, he is a delight to sit and talk to. He has a great foundation in life and just how he carries himself. And if you haven't checked out any of his videos, go to Fishing with Norby. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
I got that right, guys?
Fishing with Norby.
Okay, Fishing with Norby. And it's Nordbye. Andrew is a great person, him, his wife, and I appreciate their hospitality. They put us up in their great place down there.
Their cabin.
Yep, they have a actually wedding facility down there, and it's called Sweet Springs Venue and Lodge. And I have to look at my notes, folks. If you know anything about me, I'll butcher names. But it's called Sweet Springs Venue and Lodge, and Andrew put us up down there. We actually all stayed in the lodge, and man, what a nice place.
Dude, it was beautiful. The scenery, I mean, everything about it.
So that's sweetsprings.alabama.com. So there you go, Andrew. There's your free. Bro, why y'all laugh at the way I do this thing? Christopher over here giggling in the background. Look at here. Jimmy Brandon jumped on here. This is your buddy Jaden. Jaden, I told you I was going to have you this mug on there. Young man, I want to thank you for this. And that little message you wrote me, I sure appreciate it. This means a whole lot to me, believe it or not. This is what makes me love sharing outdoors and sharing fishing with kids, because just like Trenton back here, people, I remember when this youngster, all he would worry about was where my bass boat was. I mean, that's all you did as a kid. You'd be at home and you'd be little to ask your dad, where's Mark's boat? Where's he taking it to? What we doing with it? Where y'all fishing? And, you know, that youth loving fishing is what it's all about. And I've seen you comment there. You're welcome. And Jaden, I really do appreciate it. But talking a little bit more about Andrew Norby and Guntersville. You know, Andrew, I had met him through Darian Craig, which we had filmed a show on Guntersville with Darian. And, of course, Darian's another great YouTuber. He's actually Darian's in there because Darian's a great guy and just a good person, him and his wife. And I met Andrew and them. I actually go down and film with Andrew. And let me tell you, folks, he not only is a great fisherman, but when you're around him, he is just, he's genuine. He really is.
100%.
You know, when he tells you he carries a little message of his faith and all that into all his videos, he's genuine to it. He's got such a great foundation and a good person. And I just, one of them guys that was extremely awesome to get down there and fish with him. So it was summertime. It was hot. And, you know, you think, well, we're going to get out there. It was after the spawn, and they fished back out there on the ledges. And, folks, we got to go out there. We had to junk fish. We did a little junk fishing.
It was 100% junk fishing. I mean, drum, striper, you name it.
Giant crankbait, drop shot, the lead shaker. And we're going to talk a little bit about the lead shaker because you've seen on the show tonight, folks, I put a number of fish in the boat on that lead shaker and a 10-inch worm, and that's going to be our, we're going to do a little Jinko fishing segment here in a little bit, but it's going to be with the Secret Lures bait tonight. And folks, if you don't know anything about Secret Lures, go over and check it out. Danny Blanford and his wife, Holly, great folks. They've always supported the show and supported us, and I really love who Danny is and the company he has, and the tackle that they build. I love their stupid tube. I love this lead shaker. It's a great bait, and it's, well, matter of fact, you know, well, hold up before we do any tackle tip, because you know what we ain't done, folks? Y'all need to be commenting, because we're gonna do
a little giveaway.
We're gonna have, you're gonna give a card away tonight.
I'm gonna give a card away tonight.
Yeah, you're gonna pick the winner at the end of the show. Best comment, welcoming Trenton on the After the Bite.
I gotta see the comments first.
They're down here on the broken, it's not on the broken side, it's on the good side of the screen. Hey, how come I ain't seeing the comments?
What?
I don't have no comments up here. Nobody commenting. Well, anyway, share this and comment, folks. And you getting any comments? Okay. Well, anyway, we're also going to be giving away another little Jinko gift pack. I just picked the winner. Jinko sends you some goodies, and that's what Jinko likes to do. They love to share their tackle with you, get you hooked on it. You've gotten. You've seen these great jerk baits in action. The Pursues 110.
Oh, I love them.
Yep. Seen Terry Bolton.
Yep.
You right there on Kentucky Lake. You were right there filming it.
I even got to use them this weekend at Cumberland, and I got to catch a couple fish on it.
Oh, did you catch them on the Pursues? What color? Do you know which color?
I used the gold.
You used the gold and black? That gold and black's my go-to. Now, Terry used that, which one? I think it was this one.
It was that one right there.
Yeah, the Gandonite green.
Gandonite green.
So, that's a great bait right there. But Jinko's going to give away a little package. So make a good comment. Welcome Sam Ogle in the house.
Oh boy.
Oh, Sammy right there. Hey, Sammy, you know what happens when Brian don't turn in the chip, don't you?
Taco Bell.
I get Taco Bell, but that's a long story. But hey, folks, when when the episode comes out with Brian Estridge, you want the story, I'm sure it's going to be in there. And Sam Ogle, you know the story. And that'll be one to watch in a few weeks when your dad and me's on there, because Brian probably tells some stories I didn't need to tell, but they're on there now. But let's see, pack that last comment up. What was that last one? I didn't get to read it. It was talking about Trenton and something.
Trenton is definitely better looking, and welcome sight on the show. Sorry, Mark.
I appreciate that, but it's a true statement. And one thing about this youngster, he'll probably teach me how to fish a little bit too. But I'm not a crappie fisherman. Merrick McClure puts, I'm not a crappie fisherman. How would you approach deep 40, 50 foot clear water crappie? I know you men know the crappie way. Hey, live scope, I guess. Hey, but I'm the wrong guy to ask, because I like catching crappie when they're about this deep. But
yeah, the deepest I've fished for them is about 12 foot.
Yeah. But, you know, I went with Tony Shepard in the summertime, and they were in the deep, and, you know, out there, we were down there for that, and we watched him live scope him.
That was an experience. It was definitely.
Man, ain't that the fun part of traveling and fishing with all these different guys?
I get to learn all kinds of stuff. So do you.
Oh, all the time. I mean, it's like Andrew when we were down there, you know, Gunnersville. You know, that time of year, we really figured out we just had to kind of junk fish to catch them. We would catch them. And it was, you know, on a jig. It was on a deep diving crankbait. It was on the lead shaker. You know, whole mixed package of baits. But that's what's cool with traveling with folks. But once again, share and comment, folks, because we got goodies. We're gonna pick two winners. Goodies. We're gonna give somebody a $25 gift card, Cabela's. Trenton's giving that away, and then we'll pick a Jinko winner for a little prize package, and they usually will ship it within a couple of days, so you'll get a quick little present in the mail. So share this out to folks and tell them to join us. You know, Trenton, one of the things that I found fun, that's a little, you know, tidbit about Andrew Norby there, to talk a little bit about the episode. He's always wearing that straw hat.
He's been wearing it since he was 18.
That's what he said, and it's kind of his trademark. I love that, and, you know, and he wears it all the time, folks. I mean, he has got it on all the time, and
I need to get me one of those, actually, and keep me from getting sun cancer.
That's not a bad idea.
No.
because, you know, in that sun all the time, and
I'm
better
telling
to
you.
keep it off of you. Adam Savage, we
I've
appreciate
learned.
you watching every week. Adam's always on here. We always appreciate his comments and that. And Adam's out chasing the tournament world. Adam, what tournament circuit you fishing now? I can't keep up with all of them, so
There's
I have
several.
to ask all of them. But Adam was just on there. If you hear me, tell me comment on there which one you're fishing now. And folks can go check out all of Adam's stuff. Jeff Burns, Jeff's on there. Always good. Jeff's always following our stuff. Adam is fishing the NPFLs, and go check out Adam's stuff. He got a little comedy in all his stuff. He's a lot of fun there to watch as well. But there's you, little plug, Adam, and got Greg Collard on here enjoying the show. We appreciate that comment. So, folks, we're going to jump over here. Trenton always check the gas. Okay, there's always a smart aleck in the bunch. Trenton, he wants you to always check my gas gauge out. Mike Tiedrick does, because somehow I run out of gas on camera going to West Virginia. And these guys
man.
love
Hey,
to
I wasn't
remind me.
there for that trip. This was a couple years before me, but I've heard all about it. Hey, whenever we're traveling, going to film all these episodes, I have to remind him sometimes that he needs to stop and get gas.
That thing just dings. I think it's a seatbelt thing. Well, folks, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a bait that we used on Gunnersville, and this is going to be your 811 tackle tip of the week. So, and it's on the Jinko cam. So, but our 811 tackle, the tip of the week, it starts out like this all the time. We're always going to tell people to contact 811 before they dig. It's the law, it's free, and keep you safe. He's a landscaper. He landscapes with me. What we're getting ready to do, plant 280, 290 trees.
A bunch of them.
And
I
we're
don't even
planting
know the count.
right down the road. We unloaded 140 today, roughly.
Roughly, yeah.
And when you look down them streets where we're planting them trees, you seeing all them flags and them markings were all around them utilities. And if you was to hit that gas or electric,
It could be deadly.
that's it.
It could be deadly.
Just like I was preaching about watching your hands around equipment, you know, it's free and it's law. So here's your 811 tackle tip of the week. We're going to talk a little bit about the Secret Lures lead shaker here. You know, Trent, me and you were kind of talking a little bit. I said, well, you know, Trent, one of the things I'm going to talk about tonight is this lead shaker. And, you know, I got thinking, you know, I told on the show, Terry McWilliams, an older guy that I know, a great fisherman, actually
Travels with us.
Yeah, travels with us, and really was the, you know, the guy that brought the stupid tube to the face of bass fishing, so to speak, when he took it to the Classic. But Terry said something one day about, you know, I seen him take a worm and he put it on a jig head and he was fishing it on a jig head. And he's like, well, you know how many fish you catch and big fish you catch on a jig? Why you want to throw your worm on a Texas rig? And I'm like, well, that's me. Terry's on here and I just got in trouble. And I put that on national TV, by the way, too, Terry. Young guy, Terry. But, you know, you start thinking about throwing a worm, you think Texas rigging, you think throwing it out there, dragging it on the bottom. But think about over the last few years how people are throwing the, you know, like the tail shaker head right here, and they call it the shaky head. You know, it's probably the most common name. And we're catching tons and tons of fish on them shaky heads. Then you think about how many fish bite a jig and the big fish. Well, Secret Lures built a jig head, and it's called a lead shaker. And if you look, I think Danny Blanford's on here. Danny, if you've got any comments on any of this, comment and let them know where they can get them at and all that. But also, you know, this little head's got like a notch in it, and I think that notch is to help that head stand up like this. So we're going to switch over to the cam, and here it is. This is the package. We were throwing a 1/2 ounce lead shaker, and I'm going to hold it this way. There we go. And, you know, when you look at this little head has a screw lock on it, and it sets you up to take a big worm, like a 10-inch worm, because we're doing it with the shaky heads, but we're doing it with little zoom worms or little straight worms and stuff like that.
Trick worms, you name it.
But we get out there on these big ledges, and we're throwing a worm and we're Texas rigging it, and maybe we're not getting all the bites that we should, but when you put it on this jig head, folks, and I showed this on the show, you rig it on a jig head, you screw that up on there, that 10-inch worm, then you slide this hook through, and I like to put it all the way through the worm. You can see that. I put that hook all the way through, and then, let me line up here. This is new, so give me a little break now. Never caught one on a shaky head. Well, I'm going to tell you, you better get you some shaky heads because you'll catch them. But we call them tail shakers at Secret Lures, and the bigger ones are called lead shakers because they're heavy. But now you put that hook back through. Now you're weedless and like a Texas rigged worm, but now this worm will stand up. And then when you take that tail up here kind of like this and it's dangling and moving around, I think it, Trenton, lets these fish pick that bait up better and you get more bites. And so, you can take and you can go down, and if you look at the tail shaker and you look at the lead shaker, they build these, like this one right here, these are 1/2 ounce, what I was throwing. And I don't know what all sizes, Danny, you make them in, but my favorite's the 1/2 ounce. That's probably the one I throw 90% of the time. You could probably go up to a 3/4, 1 ounce if you're in the current or real deep water. But I love this 1/2 ounce. And, this right here, folks, when you're out there on the ledges and you're throwing a Texas rig worm, let me tell you, grab one of these lead shaker heads and put it on, because just like in the show, you've seen me catching them on it. This head will stand that worm up, and there are days that you're just going to get more bites. How'd y'all like that? Tell me how y'all like that Jinko cam right there. I loved it. But anyway, that head is made by Secret Lures.
We actually got to use those in a YouTube video up at West Boggs.
We did use them up there, didn't we? And we were catching them on it.
We beat their heads in with it.
I forgot about that. What was funny is, and that's a good one to I forgot about that, Trenton. We'll have that YouTube video up later in the season too when the military appreciation episode airs. That week we'll have that YouTube. But I forgot we used them up there.
We used the tail shaker, the lead shaker, and it might have been the sinkers that he makes, the fish head sinker. Has the eye.
Oh, that was that was Jinko's.
That was Jinko's?
Oh my goodness, they're going to fire me now because I done forgot the name of the little head. The creature head.
There you go.
We were catching them with the creature head. That's right. But so anyway, that bait right there, folks, that lead shaker, that is a great tip to getting more bites throwing a 10-inch worm. Because sometimes the Texas rig just keeps that bait laying on the bottom. Danny Blanford said they make it in a 3/8, a 1/2, and 3/4. And then you've got the short shank lead shanker, and then you got the long, and then you got the longer shank one as well. I think is what he was saying. Let me look here. Danny might have to straighten me up a little bit. But anyway, the lead shaker, when you look at this big hook in this thing too, by the way, go back over to our little cam for a second. Look at that big old hook right there. I've got to go boom right there. I mean, I love this head, folks, right here. So anyway, you're going to see us in multiple videos coming up this year. West Boggs, I forgot about throwing that. And you know what was funny on that, Trenton, is, hey, Mark Porter, how are you? That cam angle is pretty cool. I appreciate that, Mark. Credit to Christopher back here, because I was like a little kid when he told me we was going to have the new Jinko
like
cam.
A kid on Christmas morning.
But that Secret Lures lead shaker is a just tremendous way to get more bites. We do the lead shaker in a big version, so you have it. It's also available with a short shank Gamakatsu for the smaller baits. And
a good thing about these shaky heads or lead shakers, the wire is a lot thicker on the hook. There's a lot of shaky heads out there that the wire is real thin, and when you set the hook, your wire will bend and you will lose fish.
So on this big bait, that's probably why Danny and them got that big hook in this one, and you take a 10-inch worm, it's phenomenal. I mean, we've caught them now, I guess, 3 different places with that bait, and I feel like that I get more bites so many times throwing my 10-inch worm that away now than I used to. And I see it all the time. You know, I used to Texas rig a little straight worm. But once I started throwing the, you know, the little tail shaker, which is Secret Lures version, or the, what you called it earlier, the little shaky heads, you know, you just seem to get more bites with that jig head like that.
I use a shaky head religiously. A shaky head, the jig, and the tube. Yep. In the shaky head, you catch more fish. You might not catch quantity, but you'll catch numbers.
And so here, and then Danny builds the tail shaker. This is something really neat. So every once in a while, I like to put something like one of those, what's that little D-bomb, baby D-bomb. I like to put them on there. Danny builds in the Secret Lures tail shaker, they got two different hooks right here. If you look, they got the regular straight shank, which is like, you know, everybody's shaky head. Then he has this big wide gap one. Folks, you can take like a little baby D-bomb and put it on that with that wide gap, and you might not even seen these.
I haven't seen those yet.
I'll show you this. You know, this is a great hook to put like a little baby D-bomb and that on there because of that big wide gap hook on there. So I'm gonna pass that over to Trenton there. That one is what they call that is, here, we'll just zoom in on the back of the package here so people can, well, let's flip it over. I believe that's the packaging numbers, right? Let's try this. I like this thing, Christopher. But anyway, I like that wide gap hook to throw like a baby D-bomb or something like that. See how wide that is?
It's an extra wide gap hook.
Yeah. And then, of course, they got the standard, you know, like throwing your straight worm and all that on them. So anybody out there, you know, wants to know where to go to get these, Danny, throw his website up there on the comments. You can go to secretlures.com on there. He said the big one you have is actually an 8-aught hook. It was made just for the 10-inch worm. The short shank is a 4-aught hook, and it's the smaller the stuff is. My comment run off. Gotta let me and technology every week.
Oh,
but
man.
Anyway, that big hook, that's neat to know that's an 8-aught hook. But it, like you said, when you set the hook with that big hook, you're
ain't
driving
going nowhere. You're driving it through the fish.
And I believe you was fishing left-handed again up there.
I was actually fishing right-handed.
Yeah, he fishes left-handed really. And West Boggs, you was using the reels backwards. That's the second time you've had to film up there.
If you go back and watch our frog fishing episode on YouTube at Direction TV, you'll get to see me using a reel upside down, fishing a frog.
That's what happens when you don't have no tackle and you're behind the camera, and then all of a sudden I say, hey, let's go fishing.
Yeah.
But so anyway, your 811 tackle tip of the week is definitely that to get you some of these lead shakers right here, folks. That is... that right there is the bomb, and Danny, we always appreciate your support there with Secret Lures, and it's always awesome getting the opportunity to work with you and Holly, and love seeing the way, since we got talking fishing and all that, is, you know, later this week, we actually did a YouTube video with Andrew, and that's going to be coming up. What day do we release our YouTube video, Stowe? Friday. And this one was pretty fun because is it the one, did we actually do the bluegill?
Yes.
Yeah, you and Trenton are finishing.
So I'm gonna tell y'all, done something at Gunnersville that was totally fun. We actually went out, caught some bluegill, seen some fish down there on the drops, and we would drop a live bluegill down there on a drop shot.
On a drop shot, yes.
And they just crush that thing. I never thought I'd ever get to do something like that. Now, you can't do that everywhere because there are places that you can't, I guess, catch bluegill and put them on a hook. You always want to make sure that it's somewhere.
Check with your state.
Yep. You know, make sure you're following your guidelines that you're supposed to do. But we actually, you know, caught a few bluegill, put them on a hook, and dropped them down there. And it was pretty wild to live scope them and then lower that down there and watch them crunch that bait. That was pretty fun. But that video is going to come out later this week. Of course, folks, I don't know if any of you watched Getting Real or not. Last week, we had that the first segment of that come out. That one was with, who was last week?
Chris Boudry.
Yeah, Chris Boudry. That was great. This week's Getting Real. is with Andrew Norby, and folks, he brings a good message to you, and so jump on there and check that out, because Andrew, he's, like I said, as genuine as he gets, and that Getting Real will be out when?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Then the YouTube video
Drops Friday.
These guys got to keep me in line. And both of those are going to be awesome. It's going to be fun because you're in that one, and y'all are going to see more and more of this guy. So
I'm excited to come along.
So he's along for the ride on the direction. It's everywhere, any day, no matter.
Flying by the seat of our pants is what I like to say.
So, yep, because we're going to head to Florida. We actually head to Florida on Sunday.
Yep.
So we'll be flying down there. And Brendan Chris jumping on here. Brendan used to come out and do a little landscaping work with me. He kind of worked with me.
I met him.
So he went to Trinity. I actually got to take him and his buddy, oh my goodness, watch this. I'm about to get myself in big trouble live too. Trevor
I
Halsey.
remember him.
Trevor and Brendan fished together, and I got to take them and was their boat captain in one of the tournaments at Taylorsville.
Didn't he go to Purdue to fish?
And, yep, he went to Purdue, and Brendan's out there working in the cattle industry, dairy farm industry, excuse me. And Brendan, great young man, hard worker too. My goodness, let me tell you, he's one that we miss you, Brendan, because you, that young man would work his tail in the ground. I left him one day, Trenton. He was over here, and we had this big giant pile of mulch, and it was one of the last days before he was leaving. I had forgot he was over there shuffling this mulch pile by himself, loading wheelbarrows. We left him out there in 100-degree heat, and he just wheelbarrowed mulch all day, and we done forgot him. And he just kept on. So that's the kind of good young man that one is. And but Brendan and Trevor, I had the opportunity to be their boat captain in a tournament, and just a great guy. And
I think I actually got to witness him win one at Taylorsville that you boat captained.
Did they win or did they finish? I don't remember. Brendan might comment on that. I can't remember.
Because me and Dad came to the weigh-in.
Okay. I can't remember for sure, but anyway, they went to Trinity, and I, where I'm at alma mater school here in Louisville, and I got to take them boys in the high school tournament, and that was pretty cool. And but Brendan and me, Trevor was showing me pictures of them. We got runner-up. They were second.
Runner-up.
So Brendan and Trevor go to Alaska, and they go salmon fishing, and they go up and rent an RV and do that. I've been talking to them a little bit about their next time they go on that trip, and maybe taking Nick and going to Alaska with them, because I think that'd be a fun.
That'd be neat.
Yeah, I always want to see Alaska, but anyway, so got some great videos coming up later this week, so y'all need to jump on our YouTube and our Facebook, or not Facebook, our YouTube channel. You can see those videos. Check out Getting Real, folks. They're real interviews with people, and it's getting real. I mean, we're real with them. There's no editing. It's raw. It's talking about life. It's talking about fishing, and just good stuff. So jump on there and check that out. I will back up to the show this week for a second again, as I always do, bounce around. How long we been on here tonight, Stowe Man?
38.
We don't want to take everybody's whole night.
Yeah,
I'm real good. My jaws don't stop. And Terry McWilliams says we need a camera, boat, and a driver in Alaska. You gonna drive all the way to Alaska? You're awful young to be doing that.
Terry, I don't even know if I can hang with you doing that. You're a lot younger than I am.
But probably the thing on the episode that we got to jump back and talk about, because this is something that I was following Andrew and I saw happen. He was actually on Dale Hollow Lake, and he actually lost his boat over a cliff, folks, over an embankment. His boat's down in the ditch. It was, I guess, the day of the tournament. They had to winch it up. His boat got tore up. So if you want to see a good video, go on YouTube, check out Andrew Orby's YouTube, and check out his video of him losing his boat over the hill, folks.
There's some clips of it in the episode as y'all seen tonight, but go back and watch the whole video.
It's good. And, how he starts filming all that, blows my mind.
He was calm through the whole process.
I'd be going like this.
You'd be crying.
Yeah, I would be crying. That's the truth. Got to drink out of my Jaden cup there. But anyway, that's a great video to go check out. And once again, just a fun week, fun episode. It's going to be fun to see you on the YouTube this week. So y'all go over there on the YouTube. Make some comments. Tell me if this guy's doing okay on the YouTube videos or not. You know, we're going to have to be a little critical on him.
Yeah, I need some input.
Anyway, that's the good stuff we got for this week. We're going to be out on our social media stuff. Anything else that you can think of we need to talk about, Stowe? I'll talk a little bit about the upcoming week's episode here in a second. Anything else you want to comment on Andrew or anything? So, didn't talk about a rod for a minute. We can't talk about rod for a second.
Glad there ain't a fan
You
there.
know, one of my favorite rods for throwing that, like lead shaker, by the way, I like a little bit of a long rod when you're throwing a jig head on there. I'm using a 7.4. This is Denali's N3. They got a couple new series of rods coming out, so you might not get this exact rod in the future. But the N3, I throw this in a 7.4 medium heavy rod. Zoom in on the cam one more time. I'll just show them how pretty my rod is right there. Love these Denali's. But Denali has got the new lithium Pro.
Covert series, no.
No, Pro Series.
We was just talking about it a minute ago.
I think it's Pro Series. But Grandpa John loves you, Trenton.
Love you
And,
too, Grandpa. Hope you get your teeth fixed.
Yeah, that was a good picture you showed me. I heard you lost your teeth today, John. Old Big John. But Trenton's grandpa's a great one. Always enjoyed. I've been out fishing with Big John a few times. And
He actually traveled with you and Dad some, didn't he?
Yep.
Fishing crappie USA's.
oh, he would take the camper.
Yeah, he would pull his fifth wheel
So-
around.
But anyway, I like a 7.4 rod. I like a medium heavy rod. I like something that's got a little backbone to it. I don't throw an extra heavy or a heavy. I like a medium heavy because I still don't want a super stiff rod setting the hook on that head, and that's kind of, I guess, personal preference. But that new Lithium Pro Series coming out, folks, I'm telling you, it's sweet. I got to see it down at ICAST, and that rod,
Cut me off again.
yeah, it cuts the screen in half, so I'm gonna move it back there. But that new, y'all be watching for the new Denali's to come out, because I'm telling you right now, that new Pro Series rod is awesome. Where do you find those rods? The best thing to do is just go to Denali Rods. I know that they've got rods, I'm sure they're on Tackle Warehouse. I'm sure they're
They
on
do.
other places.
Look up Denali Rods on Tackle Warehouse, and you'll have all your selections from the Covert series, the Lithiums, the N3s.
Are they all on there?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I was looking at them a couple months ago.
Unfortunately, fortunately, I don't have to go shopping for the rods. I kind of make a phone call and they send me some more, so I'm kind of a little well connected to those. But folks, Denali's a great company. I'm gonna say this, I've been with them a pretty good amount of time now. Scott Estes, great person. Mike Hilton was there for years. Brian Head. Folks, they are good people and they build a great product, and I'm always grateful to be supported by them and me getting to support them as well. But that new Lithium Pro Series, Trenton, I seen it. And then they've done a couple little changes to the Covert too as well. And
I got to hold them.
They've made it even sweeter. Oh, you was at ICAST.
I was at ICAST.
That's right,
yeah.
you saw 'em.
Yeah.
That Lithium Pro was wicked.
I might have to get me some of them.
They got another rod coming out. I can't think of the name
The
of it.
Android?
Oh, yeah, the Android. So that one will be coming out as well. But that Lithium Pro Series, folks, I'm telling you, I'm like a little kid waiting on that one. They did have a post the other day on social media that they're coming. So they must be getting close to being able to start getting them. And
Be Christmas in February.
That's it. I'm going to be calling it in. But anyway, that's I think that's a pretty good after the bite this week. Next week's episode, what's it going to be? We got to look all this up.
Colton. At Pickwick.
Colton Jennings. Wait a minute.
I didn't get to go to that one.
The Jinko Cam and the Jinko prize pack, and we're going to pick the winner live this week. So do not let me get off without telling who the winner is this week of the Jinko pack. Anyway, next week, folks, let me tell you something. We are on
Pickwick.
Lake Pickwick. Did you go? You weren't there.
I didn't get to
That's
go
right.
to that
You were
one.
finishing up school.
Yep, I was
He just
finishing
got
up
out of high
school.
school. But, folks, I got this Jinko name everywhere. Colton Jennings, young man, kid still in high school, has the opportunity to start developing his own baits and building his own tackle company.
At 16 years old.
And now he's grown it into what Jinko is today. Folks, if you look right here, this little design here, this little character, kind of looks like a superhero. We're going to call you Superhero Colton Jennings. That's what we're going to call you. See that? There he is again. This is Colton's head and the big do of hair that he has. Yeah, he's got his little fro. And, but anyway.
What is that?
Oh, the Roomba's over here. I thought it was talking in a foreign language there for a minute. But anyway, Jinko, we are going to have somebody that Mason Burden just said, seen Jinko on Kentucky Field. Cool story. It is a cool story, that is for sure. And Colton is a great young man, loves fishing. And folks, when I say this, he just loves fishing.
He truly does.
He doesn't care what he's catching. We were catching white bass. He just likes catching, and he genuinely loves taking tackle and figuring out how to make it better and how to make it, just perform. And so you'll get to see him and me on Pickwick, and we got a great little story to that one next week. And we'll be looking forward to sharing the Jinko fishing story and how Colton got it started, and how I got to join in with them guys, and that is going to be a good one next week. So join us for that. Now next week, I don't know if we will have this big setup for our live. We will probably have to jump on live from our cell phone because we are going to be in Nokomis,
Florida.
And we are going to be doing a little saltwater fishing. And if I'm not sick on Tuesday, because I don't do well in this rolling around in a boat, been known to get sick, right,
Yeah.
Jimmy Jennings? And Jimmy's going to drop in. We're going to be down there with Misty Wise, Jimmy Jennings, Terry McWilliams, yourself. We're going to go after
Goliath grouper.
a Goliath grouper. So y'all check that out. Be watching for a few pictures because that's going to be a fun trip right there.
Be a neat experience for all of us.
Yeah, they say, well, I think them things, I don't know how big they can get, but I think they catch them 200, 300, 400 pounds. I don't know. But all I know is they say you're going to catch
Hopefully they
one.
strap a harness around me. They might pull my little skinny butt
Skinny
in.
butt's going to be in the lake or be in the ocean.
I'll be
Then
there
a
with the sharks.
bite. You're going to end up being shark bait. Your dad and mom's going to say you watched Trenton grow up and we watched him disappear in a shark's mouth.
Just don't get it on film.
We ain't going to let that happen to you. Well, anyway, Christopher, so you start looking for a winner of our Jinko prize pack, and then the Cabela's gift card, we'll grab somebody afterwards. We usually type on there, you're the winner. We'll send a message out for you to send us your address so we can send them out to you. But folks, it's, as I always say, I want to thank each and every one of them for watching the direction, because without your friends, my friends, and without all these folks right here commenting and watching the show, Trent, we wouldn't get to do this.
No, and it's a blessing being able to do all this and do it for a living.
And it's fun.
It is.
We dig holes and we go fishing.
That's it.
Don't get no better, does it?
Nope.
But this young man's only, 18 years old?
19.
And thinking you're going to get to travel all the places you're getting to travel and see all the people, meet all the people you're going to get to meet through fishing. And We're going to have a lot of fun, do a lot of videos, and put together some shows. And, you know, once again, go over and watch that YouTube and, you know, tell Trenton how he's doing when he gets a word in edgewise.
Yeah. I ain't been able to talk much to y'all tonight.
Because I don't shut up.
Nope. I work with you every day, and I've learned quick. I've actually known you for 19 years.
I'm going to say.
Yeah, my mom will tell you different, too.
Your dad and mom hadn't thought about you yet.
Nope.
That's how long I've been around. But anyway, I'm welcoming Trenton on here tonight. Trenton, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate going to get to travel with you and do this because it's going to be a joy for me. One, watching you grow up, knowing your love for fishing, that this is going to bleed over to you. And folks, thanks to each and every one of you. This is After the Bite. We'll be back here. Well, we'll do something live next week. It probably won't be real elaborate because in Florida. And then when we get back the following week, we'll be right back. We'll have our
Jinko cam.
And we will have all the fun stuff, the broken TV and all the great things. And I'll even bring my jade and bobber back. But folks, want to say appreciate y'all. Thank you again. And next week's episode, watch it, 7 o'clock, Pursuit Channel, folks, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Watch that thing. Jump on, comment, because we're going to give you some goodies each and every week. We're always giving something away. I'm Mark Stowe. This is After the Bite.
I'm Trenton Estridge. Make sure y'all subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any new upcoming videos.
He plugs it perfect. Y'all have a good night.